Oksana Aplekaeva was born on the 12th day of June 1977 in Ufa, Russia. She graduated from a school of finance in an accounting course. In 2005, she participated in the reality show Dom 2, a Russian version of Big Brother, and almost qualified for the final, staying in the house for 2.5 months. After gaining visibility from the show, Oksana got several modelling jobs. She also ended up meeting tennis player Marat Safin, with whom she had a relationship for a few months in 2006. But unfortunately, on September 1st, 2008, at the age of 31, despite her success and fame, Oksana was found dead on the side of a highway in the Russian capital of Moscow. The coroner's report said that despite several physical assaults, the cause of death was likely strangulation. It is worth mentioning that her body did not show any evidence of sexual violence. The investigations began, but the police didn't know where to start, as there were no clues that could direct the investigations. Oksana was buried on September 11th, 2008. It didn't take long for the case to be dropped for lack of leads. But 10 years later, after the subject came up again in the media, as she was a celebrity in Russia, the police decided to reopen the case with new investigators to see if there was any clue that they hadn't noticed the first time around. With the permission of Oksana's family, they decided to exhume the body to make new collections and new DNA tests. When the results of the new tests came out, something very strange was found. Oksana had indeed suffered from sexual violence. How did the police not notice this sooner? Despite them trying to keep this information a secret, it ended up leaking, and some magazines ended up talking about this new discovery. Despite the shock that the country was left with for not trusting the police, these publications ended up bringing completely unexpected information to the investigation.
Hello, good morning. I prefer not to identify myself because I have very sensitive information to be verified, and maybe this can help in this new discovery of the Oksana case. I have no idea who caused her death, but I think I know who used her body. I am one of the employees who works at the city morgue in Ufa. Me and some employees are suspicious that one of our co-workers is... Oh my god, this is disgusting. We think that a colleague of ours, Alexander is his name, is some of the bodies here in the morgue. In 2008 we received Oksana's body for legal proceedings, and he was already working here at the time. As I said, I don't know who killed her, but I looked again at her report and talked to the person in charge, and he said that she didn't really have any evidence of sexual abuse, but I think this happened after the broadcast of the autopsy report here at the morgue.
The police then went to investigate, and the information was true. Alexander, 43, who was 33 at the time of Oksana's murder, had his DNA matched to that was found on Oksana's body. After, once again, the information became public, he, who was married, ended up having a divorce request issued by his wife. He was fired, but, legally, he was not indicted. Alexander did not receive any kind of criminal punishment, because in Russia, the act of necrophilia is not a crime. For us in the West, the treatment given to him is absurd, but, believe it or not, in Russia, he cannot be called a criminal, because there is no law that identifies him that way. Unfortunately, to this day Oksana has not received justice, either for her murder or for the desecration of her corpse.